Welcome to Blended Healing. And excuse me for being late to class. All right. Don't tell Shank he's going to send me into the principal's office. Welcome to Blended Healing. Hey, yes, I'm late. I am late. So don't get on me too bad. I was trying to upload another video clip. And of course, I got caught out there. So please forgive me with that. Welcome, D Goddess. Welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. I am. Miss Sharon, I just want to let you know that I appreciate what you said. As I was running out of the door from Miss Parker's live, which was very good, I saw what you said. And I wanted to say thank you so much for that. I truly appreciate you. So I'm not going to try to keep y'all long. This is going to be um, a subject that I think that everybody should know about because we hear so many conflicting messages in regards to things that people go, shh, don't talk about that. And I think that it needs to be talked about because I think spirituality and practitioners get a bad rap on things really um that are really not necessary. You know what I mean? And I think that that's out of the case because of the fact of it's not knowledge, it's not shared. It's something that due to different religious beliefs are considered taboo. And I think that, it's up to the person for the most part to talk about different things from our history, from our past. Because in order to have a current situation or a future situation, you got to know where it came from. So I always say that in the way I learn things, I'm a very avid reader. I'm a very avid reader. Hey, VE Nicole, so glad you popped in, doll. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate you. Um, I think that we should talk about it, have a discussion because why should we sweep things under the rug? Let's get an understanding about it. My job as bringing some of these topics to light is to just wet your whistle so you can do your own research and find out the information yourself. Don't always just take everybody's word for what they say. If you don't understand something or you're interested in something, or even if you want to come up and do a debate about something, at least have the basic knowledge about it. So that's where I come in, and that's why all of these different subject matters were coming up to me, and I think that this is one of them. So I'm not going to keep you long, just enough, because I don't like, sometimes people be like, oh my God, she's a talking head. and all of that. So let's get this class started. And again, thank you so much for coming through Blended Healing on tonight. So the first thing I want to bring your attention to is we're talking about the different practices. So as you develop, or if you have an interest in being a practitioner of hoodoo or doing your own eclectic work, as you develop as a practitioner or curious of the different practices that are available to you as magic, you will find yourself collecting more and more items, researching more and more, from putting different charms in your pocket, creating mojo bags, protection in and or around you, even all the spaces that you occupy. You will slowly start filling up with items that may look like common day tools to the outsider. You will slowly discover ways to never be without the magical power given to you by your spirit guides, the divine, or whatever you call the assistance that's comfortable to you. And do not forget about your ancestors. Ashe. So, the first thing we're going to be talking about how charms and physical crafting make it easier for you to understand, to interact with, and manipulate the spiritual world. And the more comfortable you are in doing so, the more it will come to enhance your life. If people don't recognize you as a conjurer by the sweet smell of incense on your skin and in your hair, or by the aura of confidence and power in your walk, they will surely know when they walk into your home. Previously, you were introduced to the basics of crafting, setting intention, inspiration, herbs. I covered herbs for you. I covered intention with you. We've been doing inspiration. I covered candles for you, and all of those different things that you didn't know were things that an average practitioner uses on a daily basis. Sometimes practitioners are called conjurers. That's a real old word, real old school word. But some of them are comfortable with that. So all of these things that you do are rituals. You don't even realize it. Taking a bath is a ritual. Taking a shower is a ritual. When you're stirring your pots, when you're creating in the kitchen and you're cooking for your family, that's a ritual. Even putting candles on a cake has a background, and that's a ritual. So there's all of these different things. When we hear the word ritual and all of that, we always go, ooh, you know what I mean? And it's not even like that, because things populate down from one generation to the next generation to the next generation. And it's so in our makeup that we don't even realize that this is considered some type of ritual. So I want you to think about that stuff. The other thing I want you to be aware of is that we are going to be covering some things. So if this is not your bag, I'm just asking you to leave. All right. Um, no, no harm, no foul, except that I'm doing this as an educational purposes, not to make people feel out of way or anything like that. I always say that knowledge is power. If you know things, at least you know the basics of it. Okay? So I'm not here to offend anybody or to get anybody all spooked out and stuff like that. I just want you to have the knowledge. Ashe? Ashe. So the first thing we're going to be going over is powders. Okay? Oh, I went too fast. Sorry about that. Let me back that up a little bit. So the first thing we're going to be going over is powders. So powders are like when you have cinnamon powder at home. That's considered a powder. Something that you grind down to its natural form. Powders are created out of natural substances being dried and then crushed and crushed and crushed. And that's how you make a powder. So powders are often used in place of oils. Now I know some of you use essential oils. Um, Whether you're putting it in one of those, um, hey Rocky, how are you, doll? Even if you're putting it inside of one of those aromatherapy things, those are essential oils. And essential oils are used for different things, whether it is to cleanse your home, whether it is to, just help you along the way. If you put cinnamon inside of it, it's speeding up a process and bringing love and wealth and all of that into your home. Every powder, every oil, every plant, every flower has its own certain use. So instead of using oil, some people use powders. And without using the oils, it's not as much mess as oils, or you have to use a base oil, and then you have to use a regular oil when you're putting things together. So um they take a lot of different elements. Like in a powder, you can use various different ingredients and grind them down. All right. So powders do play an important role, even in, like I was saying, you could use it in aromatherapy. You can use it medicinally. All of these things that you can look up to. Grand Rising. So let's go over some of the powders. So here are some of the powders. There's lucky money dust, they call it. It's used to increase your luck in financial areas. Everything that you're going to be seeing today is all about intention. Intention is 90% of the work. 90%. So about intention. So boy, does that look very bad on the screen. I hope that clears up because on my laptop it's so clear, and I'm looking at it on another device. It's very, very clear. Uh, I, I hope it's not too bad. I hope you guys can see it. But anyway, I digress. So, lucky money dust increase your confidence. Sorry about that. In financial areas. So, or at the doorway. Black salt powder. We usually know of, learn combination salt and ash. Um, and sometimes in order to create a breathe. The other one that is not talked about a lot, but old folks used it. It was hot foot powder. All right. It is a little blurred, right? I understand. So, oh my gosh. Thank you, Sharon. See, you got good juju. Okay, so the powders to talk about. All right. You want to know, all I want you to know is that it definitely is something you should know about. But because we work in white light energy, this is something that you're not going to do. I would hope not. But like I said, it's good to have a knowledge, knowing that these things exist. So I don't talk about that. Remember, when you are working in different things, if you do not know enough, not effect. So some of these things, um, golfers and war powder. Okay, we ain't going over that. Hey, Cheech, I see the Famalam is checking in. Hey, Famalam. So yeah, we're not. The fact that you know that this is something that people do, the more aware that you are, and the more that you can protect yourself. All right. The next group of powders that we're talking about tonight is, I think I need to just get myself completely out of here. How about that? Perfect. So, the next group of powders that we talk about are the fiery wall of protection. Now, I personally have created this myself, not as a powder, but as an oil. And in my shop, and you better not, oh my God, Jeej, Buddy is acting up and out. He wants to walk across the laptop as usual. Um, my cat is crazy. So anyway, the fiery wall of protection, I utilize that. I create that. It's a combination for me when I create it in an oil form. It's it's a process, because when you're creating oils, it's more of a process than it is creating powders. So the fiery wall of protection is a great barrier. It acts like black salt in a way, except that it's more powerful. You would sprinkle it around your circumference of your home or entryways, and it's a protective force. I see why this is going blurry. I see why it's doing it now. It's the Wi-Fi signal in the home of where I am. It goes in and out. So the next one is Jinx Be Gone. This breaks any curses or any cross conditions. When they talk about cross conditions, that means that somebody is doing some old crazy old stuff to you, and they are trying to put something on you. Okay? Um Here's another thing that just ran across my mind that I think that you should know when it comes to different things. I think you should know that, or be aware of, when you're walking down the street, right? and you might see something on the road or on the sidewalk, and your first initial thing that you want to do is pick it up, right? Don't ever do that, because it could be something janky, okay? And they're looking, nobody, you cannot go across my keyboard. I'm so sorry, y'all. Um, don't pick it up, okay? Use your discernment, because people are waiting to see you pick it up. And it could be something that's not good for you. Be aware of your surroundings. I'm not fear mongering, I'm just letting you know. Sometimes people's intention are not good for you. And I just want you to get yourself protected all the way. He's still trying to cross over. Excuse me 1 second. I have to get my daughter. 1 second. All right, the child has gotten the animal. All right, so the next thing is true love powder. This attracts romance or somebody romantic to you in sexual love. So you can sprinkle this outside of your home, around your bed to create the mood. And you can also carry it with you, like in a bag. But here's the thing, never do you ever put a love spell on anybody. First of all, it's going to backfire on you, which in some cases I know has happened, and can also return to sender on you, and it also, you're doing it against somebody's will. So if you go to somebody and a practitioner that tells you, yeah, I can do that, then that's your first indication to turn around and run your ass out the door. I'm just saying. I'm here to protect you and to give you knowledge. Okay. Next thing we're going to be is talking about is dolls. I know it's weird. It's weird. It's weird. I know. So they're very creepy. I have to say, I was a little creeped out by this myself personally, but dolls. So creepy dolls full of need. Sharon, yo, you don't even know. Creeped out when I was doing my research. Okay. So creepy dolls are full of needles, or we see all of this stuff in the movies. And the more and more I started reading on them, I said, I still don't like them. I don't care, even though I know that they can be used for good things. So we have spirit dolls. And this is to house a non physical entity, for example, the Holy Spirit, a deity, or an ancestor. What it does is it gives those entities and a body to be in. Whew, child, did I get through that? What is stronger? Um, I'm gonna say the oil, Gina. I think the oil is stronger when it comes to different things, but it's a mixed bag. So it depends upon what you are doing. In the case of protection, I think when it comes to your house, I think that a powder or a salt can be utilized, especially if you don't have any animals. When it comes to oils, it depends, because you don't want to put oil in different places, because as it gets old, it becomes tacky. But if you're using an oil inside of something, like if you're consecrating something that's important to you, you put a dab. If you're putting them in candles, absolutely oil is the thing. You can do a combination, but oil is definitely the thing that you want to use. All right. So I'm going back to the creepy dolls now, G. Okay, I'm going back to the creepy dolls. So some people have dolls on their altars. They really do. They have them. Uh, Michelle does not have dolls on hers. I ain't doing it. I'm not doing it. But some people really do need the to see something physical besides a picture. So what they do is they honor their ancestors by using a doll, a spirit doll. Okay. And they're saying that if you use these type of things, it's usually done in veneration, meaning that you're venenating the ancestors, you're venenating a deity. Some people have statues. I prefer statues than looking at creepy dolls. I'm sorry. I'm keeping it a buck. Just keeping it a buck. But I have to cover the dolls. It's taboo, you know. So there's helper dolls too. These are physical representations of a certain energy or an ideal. So, say for instance, it could be used to express by color or the doll or herbs or charms stuffed inside of it. So, say for instance, a helper doll will be considered a policeman, a firefighter, something like that. I can't stand this internet. And why does this look so fuzzy? I'm so upset. But anyway, that's what a helper doll is. So they put those on their altar as well. Like if you have somebody in your family that's a police officer or somebody that you're venenating for that case, you can stick herbs and charms inside of the doll. Usually, when it comes to an altar is for somebody, and I could be wrong, but look it up. But in my vision, an altar is something that you use to venerate, okay, or you use to give reverence to something that is dear to you, something that's near to you, something that you utilize almost on a daily basis, or you go to the altar. Some people put plates to venerate their ancestors or deities. They put plates of food, they put whiskey, they put water on their altar. But some people use dolls. So the helper dolls are those, and you can uh, turn them over or cut into them if you get it already made and stick charms in there that ask for protection, so to speak, for these helper dolls. When it comes to doll babies, we're not talking about doll babies. You could do that on your own. Remember, when you're creating these dolls, always remember that there is a cause and effect. When you hear somebody mention doll babies on an altar, you may want to question being there or being around that altar. Okay? Um, they into something a little different. So, like I said, again, knowledge is power. Knowledge is definitely power. The next thing we're going to be going over is how do you make your own doll? In most cases, these are called popettes. Girl, Rocky, let me tell you something. So, not that chick. I am very angry. Listen, can I just try something real quick? Because I'm really getting upset about my internet. So, if you can just bear with me one moment, I would appreciate it. I'm going to change the signals. Some things are a little crazy, and I'm all down for what y'all are saying. I'm white light energy all the way. I don't do none of this old crazy stuff. And I do hear people saying, well, you have to have a combination and all. Nah, man, I'm good. But this has been on the screen long enough. For those who want to learn how to make a puppet, this is how you can do it by sewing, getting material, so on and so forth. As we skip and move along, all right. Okay. So the next thing that we're going to talk about, that's a little better, but I'm not satisfied, are mojo bags. Now, this I can get with. I can get with a mojo bag because mojo bags is considered an ancient spiritual practice brought over from West Africa. Mojo bags are small bags made of fleece, leather, or suede worn against your skin. They are made to achieve a specific purpose for the practitioner. While protection is the most common, they could be made for anything as long as it's clear and specific. That is totally what I'm talking about when it comes to the different things that we utilize in practices. Okay. So when you're making a mojo bag, which I didn't know, that you have to use an odd number of items. Okay. You can also purchase mojo bags from a hoodoo practitioner or a crafter or a botanica, but make sure that you trust them. You understand? Use discernment in all things. Prices are based on the power due to the number of items inside the bag. Like, I did not know that you had to use an odd number. I really didn't know. So I learned something new. I knew about the different things that you can put into a mojo bag. And might have a couple of them laying around the house in the shop. But, but they're all for different things, you know. And they are supposed to, nobody else is supposed to touch your mojo bag or anything like that. Okay. So it's yours, it's yours, it's yours. And it's to give you power, okay, to make your path clear. Whether it's a mojo bag for health, whether it's a mojo bag for finances, it could be all of these different things. You could even put crystals and everything into these bags. All right. And a suggestion that they do offer is that when you wear a mojo bag against your skin, make sure that you wear it under your clothes. Nobody needs to know that you got a mojo bag on you or in your pocket or anything. As long as it's against your skin, that's where the power comes in at. So when you aren't wearing your mojo bag, you should keep it in a safe, private place, somewhere preferably by you when you sleep. So whether you're putting it on in your drawer, if you're living alone, that's even fine because you can take it off and put it right there on your nightstand table, somewhere that it's close. Mojo bags can usually last up to a year before it might have to be replenished. You are more than welcome, doll. So you could definitely use crystals inside of those because crystals have different vibrations too. You know, um, going back to crystals, since you brought them, it's not in here. I do want to bring your attention to crystals though. So when you have crystals, they all have different vibrations. The most powerful vibration that I have felt in my own hand, believe it or not, was selenite. Selenite is, hey, melanated. Thanks for coming through, babe. Crystals have their, like I said, selenite was the strongest vibration that I've ever felt. Selenite, you have to be cautious of it because when you get it raw, like I have raw selenite that I work with, and you have to be careful because it does splinter. It definitely splinters. So you have to be careful. But when you hold it in your hand, the vibration off of selenite can go all the way up your arm. You can feel it traveling. Selenite is used to power other crystals. Selenite, if you place selenite in your home, in different locations in the corners of your home, it creates a barrier. So, say for instance, you got it in the farthest left corner, the farthest right corner, and then you go directly, think about a line or a box, the area that you want to create a box of protection. If you place selenite in each corner or along the path, what it does is it creates a boundary of protection. But it's also used if you don't have, if you want to charge your crystals on a daily basis. I usually keep a wand of selenite, or also have a selenite bowl where I can put my crystals in and let them charge. Some people can charge their crystals by the sun, and some crystals you would charge in the moon. Either way, you're getting the energy to regenerate your crystals. Okay, so mojo bags, we finished that. So what's the next thing we're going to talk about? My favorite. Ooh, I love it. I love it. I love it. The Rose of Jericho. I don't know if anybody is familiar with the Rose of Jericho. I do have them in my shop that is not up online yet, but have patience with a girl. But I love it. You can even get these on your own. Um, I love the Rose of Jericho because it's called the Resurrection Rose. The Rose of Resurrection. Because when you purchase it, it looks like a dry weed. It's like it's all dried up, it's all curled up. But the thing about the Resurrection Rose is that it is, you put it in water, it's considered sacred. So when you use it, you put it in a bowl, a large enough bowl or a vessel, okay? And then what you do is that you actually submerge the Rose of Jericho in the water, okay? And say whatever prayer you would like to say, okay? They say that, and I usually dump out the first because all of the yuck comes out, and then I fill it up again. Yeah, we're not doing that now. Yo, I have got to get a desktop. I can't work. I cannot do laptops. But anyway, I digress. So I usually pour off the first stuff because you get all of the dryness. But what you'll see in a Rose of Jericho is the miraculous thing that it comes to life. It turns a lush green and it pops out, and it's considered very good luck and it's sacred. So I usually wait like the first day and let for all the yuck comes out. Then I pour that water out and then I submerge it again in some other water. And that water, believe it or not, is considered holy water when it comes from a Rose of Jericho. So when it comes to mojo bags, they let you know that you should sprinkle some water of the Rose of Jericho inside of things, inside of your mojo bag in some cases. But it's water. So make sure that it's just a sprinkle because you don't want anything to get sour or foul inside of your mojo bag. Okay? When you are done with your mojo bag, respectfully, you should dig a hole outside and bury the remains or the entire mojo bag with respect because the divine source energy, whatever deity that you use, whether it's venerating the Holy Spirit, whether you were using it and asking help from the ancestors, they have done their job. So what you want to do is return natural items to nature. Okay. So what's next? Ooh, child. Now, I know y'all heard about these sweetening jars, baby. So, sweetening jars are one of the most popular and accessible crafting spells. I know that y'all have seen this in grandma's house somewhere, sometime. Okay? Um, a sweetening jar is used to sweeten any part of your life. Okay? It could be used for a person, self-love, a relationship, a job, etc. Anything that you want to make better, easier, or more joyful is the sweetening jar because you want to use it because you get joy when you're creating the sweetening jar because you know everything that you are intention setting and putting in is just making it so nice and sweet and love and compassion. All of this stuff that's pouring in from your energy is going inside of this sweetening jar. So most people like to use honey in their sweetening jar, which I do recommend. Or you can use any natural sweetener, such as sugar or molasses. Um, it's best if it's something that you like, that's something that you want. You can add different herbs in it or some charms in it related to your goals. Like, say, for instance, you want the blessings of the divine, which we have anyway, but sometimes we just like to have a visual. So I would use charms, like I would throw in like some angel wings inside of that. If I want to bless my home, I will put a charm in it. Yes, girl, yes. I would throw like a house in it. If I want to put something in, I will put some roses in it, like rose petals inside of the sweetening jar. So, but it's all about how you want to do it. So I definitely recommend that you research a recipe that's to your liking for a sweetening jar. But every time I look at one, it just brings joy to me because it's it's so happy. It's just a happy thing. You want to bring some sweetness to your life. You want to bring some sweetness. So now we're getting into charms. I utilize charms. I do. As you heard me just say it, I slipped on a banana peel, but no, it's okay. I do use charms. I use charms in some of my work that I do for other people and for myself, but mostly it's for clients. They're quick, they're easy to utilize, they represent a lot of things. You can put it on a string, you can put it on a bracelet. They represent whatever it is to you. I always suggest that when you are using charms, as in anything, consecrate them. Get some good old Florida water, put some in your hand and rub it the charms inside so it gets the cleansing that it needs, because you never know who touched these charms before you. So you want to make sure that it's clean for you or clean for your clients. And like you said, like I told you just before, you can put them in sweetening jars, you can put them in your mojo bag. It just helps to intensify your intent. because it's a visual, it's visual. I love working with charms, and I like how they talk to you. Don't tell nobody I said that. Plausible deniability. Okay, here comes the real deal. Divination. So divination has all different types of forms. It's another powerful tool that is used, and it's an ability to see into the past, the present, and the future. Many people misunderstand psychic power as being a unique skill of an individual. How about if I told you that we will all have some type of an ability? Would you believe me? How about I tell you that we all do? We have some type of skill set of divination. Here's why. Because we are all connected. Remember, they say, yes, girl, yes, melanated, yes, you can. Absolutely. It just brings so much happiness. It really, really does. Um, when it comes to divination, divination comes in different ways. You can use, of course, you have the clairs. You have the clairaudient, which is hearing, clairsentient, which is feel or sense. Clairvoyance is knowing things that may happen in the future. Some people use, there's so many different types of clairs, and you can look them up for the different things. But when it comes to me telling you that a lot of people have this gift already, we all have it because we're all connected. When you're looking at human race and you look at the world, I want you to see this in your mind. I want you to envision this, that everybody is holding hands around the world, that is creating a big circle around the world, right? What you don't see are the ley lines, LEY lines. It's a grid, and everybody is connected to the ley lines. That's why when we have humans and we can feel each other by touching each other's hands, you can feel something certain within those people that are right there in your direct contact, right? But then you have another people who are a higher level of that. And that's where the psychics come in, so to speak. I'm just grouping them up. Okay. We are definitely all born with it, Sharon. You're absolutely correct. But then there's some who are evolving at a higher rate. Some people who have gifts that are different from each other. This guy looks weird. So while it's true that some people are more in tuned with it, with divination, or well known for the divination skills, this power comes from spirits, not from the individual. You got it? They come from the spirits, not from individuals. We are all born with a gift and a skill that we can tune in to another frequency, another energy. What are these people? These people have a connection where they can tap in. You hear the word tap in a lot, but some people are scared of this. If you are working in white light energy, the divine has given you this gift. And I'm going to leave it at that. So, what is divination? Divination is the art of talking to the spirits and ancestors and relaying their information to provide guidance of peace and wisdom. All right? It is a practice that takes skills and experience and must have a strong relationship with your spirits. Yeah, Rock, pretty much. Raquel asked a good question. Let me go back up here so that way it's seen. I'm so glad the picture cleared up, y'all. Um, I just want to put this out here. So, yes, you are definitely born with it. Yes. Sharon, yes, we were born with it. Absolutely. Sharon, you funny tonight. Rocky, you right. You right. It's like when you're thinking about somebody and they call you, yes. We're all connected. I really would like for you to look into ley lines, Raquel. Look at ley lines, Ley lines, and also look up, may I offer that you also look up meridians, MERID, I think it's ENS in that case, meridians. Oh my gosh. Absolutely. Ashe. My ashe to your ashe. Absolutely. It is. It's definitely a blessing and a curse sometimes because sometimes you just want to close people out. You know what I mean? And Sharon, yeah, it is scary at first. But as time goes by, you'll see that you were gifted this for a reason. You were gifted this for a reason to help the greater good. It's not about um, charlatans, but those who have the natural gift. Even, let me take that back. Let me backtrack that. Even some charlatans, in some case, at some levels, do have a gift. It's just the performance that goes with it. You know what I mean? You ain't got to do all of that. All of that ain't necessary because the Holy Spirit talks to you anyway. When you see the word spirits, everybody go, ooh, spirits, like, floating like Casper and stuff. You know what I mean? But it ain't like that. It's really not. Everybody has a different gift. Everybody tunes in and taps in different ways. Sometimes people can see images or see manifestations. Some people feel it. Some people can hear it and can talk what they're saying. Some people are just straight intuitive. You know, I don't believe in all of these labels. I think that whenever the divine gives you a gift, it is definitely used for a higher source. Definitely for a higher source. So it is a blessing and it is a curse. But yes, sometimes people don't want to acknowledge that. But when it comes to divination, it is listening to what they're saying. Remember, you have to learn how to detach from it and look at it as natural as reading a book. Don't get all super involved when you're giving other people information. Um, if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. I don't want to get any deeper than that. So it's yet you have to have a strong relationship with the spirits, okay? Going on with divination, and you have developed an intuitive spirit on your own. Remember, Everything that is inside of you is inside of you. You are born with it. You are given this gift. You have the power. You have all of that with inside of you. It comes with intention. It comes with a lot of responsibility. You have to be able to clear your mind to allow the knowledge to move through you. If you want to start working towards divining, start with a regular prayer and worship with the spirits. I'm talking about white light energy, a prayer, thanking Source God Creator, thanking the Holy Spirit, Messenger of God, thanking Ascended Masters, however it works for you, whoever's in your spiritual council, that's who you can start talking to. Everybody thinks that it's just so far off thing, and it's really closer than you think it is. Make sure that your home and altar are properly arranged, cleansed. If you're going to create an altar, make sure that your altar at home is something that you dust and clean on a regular basis. Ain't nobody want to come from the spirit world, sit up at your altar and say, this stuff is nasty. Okay, so make sure that it's cleansed. Be mindful of the negative influences that spirits and energy may have. That's why I said work on the side of white light energy. This is just to bring knowledge to you so you know. I need you to be aware of people. I need you to be aware of what they bring with them. I need you to be aware. Be aware. If you know something, it's the knowledge of. So that way, somebody's not tripping you up on another thing. You know what I mean? Some people can be telling you one thing and your intuition is going off like an alarm bell, telling you that this ain't right. It don't feel right. It ain't right. Go with that. Go with that. Regular spells are related to clarity and peace, and using herbs and oils related to divination, such as lavender, mugwort, can also be helpful. Now, I'm going to bring this up. Hey, Chiquita Rose. Glad you made it. I'm going to bring this up. All right. So, what a lot of people don't, mugwort has a lot of beneficial things. Okay. Mugwort, you can smoke. There are blends of different herbs that you can put together and smoke. Mugwort is one of them. But you do have to put in some type of base herb because smoke is smoke. Okay. So you do want to make sure that if you're using mugwort as a smoking mechanism, okay, that you do have something that can clear your lungs at the same time. So there's a lot of different things. Um, I can't put that on my Etsy shop because it's considered a tobacco product or smoking product, and they won't allow you to put that on Etsy. But there are a lot of different blends, and mugwort, what it does, it's something that relaxes you so much that is used for meditation. So some people get a little, but for those who are smokers among us, it's not going to relate to the CBD, but it does do a trick in helping you to relax when you can go into your meditative state. So I'm just saying, lavender as well, roses as well. You'll be surprised how many different flowers and herbs that you can smoke. Let's move on. We're talking about divination. Another form of divination are cards. There are different, countless ways that you can get in contact or communicate with your ancestors to gain knowledge, whether it's through tarot cards or plain deck of cards. I've seen people who use those. Bone throwing, I know people who do those. Some people use dominoes. It's all about the way that you want to practice. What feels good to you? What is your unique practice? What feels like it's just something that's natural for you and that you can use it to access great wisdom to benefit you and the people that are around you. I like personally throwing cards. It speaks to me. I connect very well with them. I can hear, I can connect to the ancestors better. It's just one of my preferences. I do have another preference, which I don't need to talk about, but there's different preferences. But I do want to learn more about these other ways just for knowledge purposes. Okay? But cards are usually the most people that are recognizable to others. Okay? So there's so many different ways. There are things that you can utilize to bring power into your situation that can benefit you. Okay? I just want you to be aware. So divination is one of the most popular forms of magic. Okay? For a reason. It taps into the deep human desire to bypass uncertainty and to see what life has in store. The flip side is that performing divination for other people places a lot of responsibility into your hands. If people are putting their faith in you to tell their future, you must be honest about your experience, your limitations. Okay, you have to be honest about that. The most important thing um, that's the spirits are telling you, okay, is that anyone can tell people what they want to hear. That's not what your job is as a practitioner. You have to tell the truth. The only thing that I can say that I wouldn't like to communicate is if I know that somebody might be transitioning soon. I'm not going to tell you that because people react differently. And the last thing I want to do is bring you that type of real. But am I going to keep it real? Am I going to keep it raw? Yeah. All practitioners should tell you the truth and not sugarcoat it because it's something that you want to hear and you think that all the messages that you're supposed to receive is supposed to be good messages. That's not the case. Let me tell you something about your ancestors. Your ancestors keep it a buck. They're going to tell you about yourself. They are sassy. They could say some offbeat things. They are something else. But in the same retrospect, you respect them for their point of view. Because I know that when it comes to ancestors, personally talking from personal knowledge, when it comes to their family members, they are definitely jaded. Meaning that they don't care what anybody else's opinion is outside of their family unit. Because all they see is for you to do better. Do you have good ancestors and bad ancestors? Just like, yeah, you have them. Some of them ain't supposed to be there talking to you because They ain't proper. But they usually have a way of delivering the message. You know, true divination should be communicating spiritual realities honestly and openly. Ashe. Beware of people who try to paint different pictures. Okay. Do your research. Use your intuition. So now we're coming up to the subject of knowledge. Because I always say, you know, if you have to get ready, you ain't ready. You need to be ready because you need to have knowledge of some of these things. Now, I've heard people talk about black magic in a positive way, and then I've heard people talk about black magic in a negative way. You could be your own judge. But I personally operate in white light energy. I do not operate in the black. Some people tell you that it's okay to be on both sides of the fence. And some people can do that because they're strong enough to do that. I myself, I was not that person. Do I know people who can walk on both sides? Yes. Yes, they can. I'm not one of them. So let's just go over what the basic is and the warning. This warning is up here for a reason. I am not gaslighting you. I am telling you straight facts. There is a warning. There is a risk to black magic. If you are not grounded enough or knowledgeable in this, even practitioners who are will not touch some of these things. So black magic spells are spells meant to harm those who have disregard the rules of fair justice. That doesn't mean that everyone who casts black magic is evil or inherently malicious. There are many fair reasons to want to harm someone, whether it be revenge for injustice or to protect someone. The ability to harm is one of the most potent abilities available to magic practitioners. Warning: the risk of casting black magic spells just for the heck of it cannot be overstated. Don't play with nothing that you don't know nothing about. And even if you claim that you do, still don't play with it. Point blank, period. Hi, Chiquita. Okay, so let's move on. The first risk is harming yourself. That is a factual statement. You may lose your morals if you get too comfortable with causing harm to other people. You might also get yourself wrapped up in a negative energy and negative entities. It might not be worth it to harm others if you cannot deal with the harm to yourself. I consider this true with all types of magic. It comes with warnings. You just have a better chance with white light than dark. Okay? If you are inexperienced, all right? An inexperienced practitioner often lacks the focus of spiritual awareness to properly manipulate the power of a black magic spell. The raw spiritual energy that it takes to fuel that power that you have to utilize to do this. You must approach it with awareness and wisdom. Black magic is done while in a wild state of mind or when overwhelmed with passion can lead to extreme harm. Because you're going to be unclear of what the outcome is going to be. I'm warning you. I want you to know about this, but I'm warning you. This is something that you don't want to play with. Okay? If you have, it can not clear intentions. The effect of the spell could affect every person who happens to run through your mind. Can I say that again? If you are not clear on what you are doing, any person that runs through your mind while you're doing this stuff can be affected. It can affect innocent people. It can come back to you without a doubt. You also risk being the victim of your own curse when cursing other magical people. Do I have your attention? I hope so. Practitioners, especially hoodoo practitioners, if another practitioner becomes aware that you're trying to curse them, they might protect themselves with a return to sender spell. Okay? A thoughtful practitioner will not be doing things like this. Hey, love, how are you? Thank you for stopping through. Thank you so much. I want you to be aware of things, okay? Somebody who is knowledgeable, a knowledgeable practitioner, right? Already is surrounded by a hedge of protection, meaning that even if they don't know that you're after them, your curse might be sent back to you. Be sure that your spiritual power is enough to best them before trying to curse another spiritual, intuitive people. Can I say that again? If you know you are coming up next to another practitioner, and if that practitioner gets wind of what you're trying to do, it's going to come back to you. Remember, practitioners, by all meaning of the words, protect themselves wholly, day after day, night after night. They have the protection of the Holy Spirit and the divine source energy. You come up against that, I guarantee you it's going to hit you back. Not scaring you, warning you. This is not something that you want to step into, all right? And lastly, in a time when more and more Black people are learning about their true heritage, particularly how their heritage was stolen from them, it is no surprise more and more people are being drawn to hoodoo. I ask you to educate yourself on hoodoo. Hoodoo is a gift to us. It is a gift in a way that we were taught, our ancestors were taught. about herbs, about flowers, about all of these different things. Of what a lot of people don't realize is that the book of Psalms was the black people's Bible. When they did their practice, when they were setting their intention, and they were doing all of these things, they used Psalms, part of the Bible. People are going back to basics. I said it earlier and I say it all the time. People are going back to basics. And in this world today, we need to get back to basics because dependent upon pharmaceuticals, okay? Yes, there's some great books out there, Tiara. Great books out there. And people are getting back to basics. So hoodoo fills a deep hole that lies in the hearts of so many people in the African diaspora. In a word, and in the world that seeks to oppress and disempower us. Hoodoo is an African American practice. It does combine other practices because remember, when it comes to hoodoo and the diaspora, remember who we were with during the diaspora. The diaspora, we had enslaved people in a society with indentured servants coming from where? Mainly Ireland, okay? Combined with indigenous people. We're all together in one bucket. So when you hear people talk about hoodoo, some of these things were taken from West Africa and the different places in the African continent that came over. But then you have people who practice folk magic. Look that up. You already know that there's indigenous people practices. Look that up. So when you're looking and researching in hoodoo, make sure that you touch on looking at the indigenous people and their practices, as well as folk magic with those who went into the mountains, the Appalachians, West Virginia. It is definitely a beautiful tool. So here's the confession. So when I do my morning readings, I use the book of Psalms. So with that being said, when you look at the topics of all of the different Psalms that I used, you can also use those scriptures when you are creating or practicing. Welcome, Miss Karen. Welcome to Blended Healing. Thank you so much for coming through. I appreciate you. Okay, let's continue. So many things were taken away from us during the diaspora. So many things. But hoodoo was something that we created to help ourselves. They took the knowledge that they had in order to heal their bodies, to heal their minds, to utilize plants, flowers, trees, all of these different things that they utilize, because we didn't have access to no doctors. How many people know in here that castor oil is considered a probiotic? I'll wait. How many people? when we had to, and I'm older than a lot of y'all. So when grandma tried to shove down a spoon down your throat with some castor oil, I don't want to take that nasty. Yeah, absolutely. But it helped a lot of things and it prevented a whole lot of stuff. Look it up. Castor oil, the benefits of. And there's more than one type of castor oil. Cod liver oil. Yes, darling, you with me now. We here. All of these things you could be researching and finding out, getting back to basics. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? The things that we forgot about, the things that were passed on from generation to generation that you just took for granted, to have been passed down to us for a reason. Hoodoo gives us the power to over our destiny and the ability to stand in our true strength and power without fear. Miss Karen, I am. I am. Hoodoo gives us the resilience to exist and to flourish in this cruel world. Okay? It gives us the power to heal our own wounds and the wounds of those that are around us. I encourage you, instead of listening to somebody else's negativity, or I hate to even say the word, ignorance, research these things on your own. Research it. I really do. When I was in Miss Parker's chat tonight, Miss Tiara Latrice said something very, very, very important. She also referred back to basics in her own way. And she was saying about how do you build a strong community? How? So, in building a strong community without having to rely on other people outside of our culture, remember I said, look up these things. And I'm not saying this to you to be a fearmonger. I'm just keeping it a buck with y'all. I really am. Sometimes it's time for us to go back and start researching so we can help ourselves. Instead of relying for somebody else to develop it and come up with something, go back to basics. Learn what our ancestors were trying to teach us. Learn why your grandma or your grandpa or even your mom, if you're blessed, please learn something. Pick up a book. These things that I talk about on my channel, I talk about it to whet your interest, just to get the blood flowing in your mind about different things. That's what this is about. I am creating a tool belt for y'all. If you go into the channel and then you go into the different videos, I'm even trying to make it easier for you by putting it in a grouping, in a set. And if you click on toolbox, all the stuff that I have teaching within the classes will be in that toolbox. something that can help you. This information is so free to each and every one of you. This information, I should have put my disclaimer up, but it's all research information. It's all research information. I want you to understand how important it is that we start relying on ourselves and our brothers and our sisters. Okay. I want to thank you for tuning in on that tonight. I thank you for allowing me to help present some of these things that we consider taboo. Like I said, knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. So please, by all means, look up these things. Pass your knowledge on to one another. Pass your knowledge on. What good is having knowledge if you can't pass it on? Tiara said something very true tonight. They are trying to erase history and rewrite it. Thank you, Dee. Thank you so much. They're trying to rewrite history. As we're speaking today, in the state of Florida, they're removing things off the shelf. Books. But it's his story. We have our own story, which they're trying to negate and talk negative on. It is our responsibility to teach our children and our children's children and anybody who has an ear to hear. It's our responsibility to help one another. That's what's missing in 2023. It is missing. And I need you to understand that. Okay? I want you to listen to Tiara's show tomorrow. I know it's going to be a wealth of knowledge. She is so passionate, and her delivery is on point. I encourage you to go back and listen to Miss Parker's today and some of her other things that she has going on over there. It is a positive platform. We have so many different negative platforms out here that we don't need another one. What we need is more positive platforms where we can get fed, where we can get knowledge, where we can get upliftance, where we can get help, where we can get compassion and love and understanding, because nobody knows more about us than we know about us. I'm just here to tell you. I love you all from a genuine place. I really do. I really do. I hope I was able to help. Next week, I believe we're going to be starting. I don't know. Oh, wait a minute. I do know. We're going to be starting a series on forgiveness. Ashe. Oh, do I have some gems for y'all? Y'all going to have to get a book. Y'all going to have to get a pen. But I'm going to get a precursor before we deep dive into it, because you're going to have to make a commitment to yourself in order to go through this as we go through the steps of forgiveness. Thank you so much. I am so blessed and so humbled by each and every one of you. Thank you so much for coming through. Now, don't forget tomorrow morning, okay, it's 7 a.m. I got to still tape that for tomorrow. Or should I do it live? Maybe I'll do it live. I don't know. If I skip a day, y'all gonna get me? No, I'll be there. Listen, and don't forget that we're done with the book of Psalms as of Sunday. So you need to let me know how y'all feel about going forward with the daily message. Do you still want it? Or do you want it to cut down to 3 days a week? Or do you want to stop it altogether? Because I have fulfilled my promise. And we have went through the whole book of Psalms. So in the chat, or even if you think about it, it's whatever you guys decide that you want to do. Let me know. Holla at me about that. So let me know. Oh, Tiara Latrice is going to be live. You said tomorrow evening, like around 7, 6, 7. All right. What time is that, baby? Miss Sharon, if you're here, can you find 7 o'clock? It's going to be in a wonderful show. So I encourage you guys to go in and please support Tiara Latrice tomorrow at 7 p.m. Miss Sharon, can you possibly find the link for Tiara's YouTube page? So that way I know on her community wall, she will have the information of where to go. Okay? Where to go. Please, if you can. Thank you so much, Miss Sharon. I appreciate you. What else news? Tomorrow we hanging out at 1 o'clock, so don't forget to come through. 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon is just chilling out. Whatever y'all want to talk about, we could talk about. I'm going to try to do this as often as I can. Oh, thank you so much, doll. I appreciate you. Thank you. So tomorrow, 1 o'clock. Then we have our 7 a.m. that we have. And with that, we've been hanging out here for a little bit. Okay, got you for a little hour and a half and change. I thank you so much for coming through. It's so well worth it when people understand and want to get knowledge and don't take it for another thing. I appreciate each and every one of you for coming through. Is there anything else y'all want to talk about? Are we good? Any questions? I forgot to ask if y'all had questions. Listen, Miss Sharon, that's why it's on video. You can always go back and replay it and get the information. That's why. I'm glad the Wi-Fi cleared up. I do. I have a business one and I have a personal one. So, and your IG is the same? So here is my business one. I should be putting up my banners, shouldn't I? Lord have mercy. If I would put up my banners, y'all would know. How about that? I got a whole banner, y'all. I haven't used it in so long. But there's my information. But the shop is still on hiatus. Thanks, Rocky. I appreciate you, doll. My IG. My IG. So I don't have it in there. Tiara, I'll make sure that you get it. I'll make sure that you get it. Definitely, doll. I will do that. I love you, Miss Sharon. I really do. Tiara, I'll make sure that you get my IG. And yes, I will tap in You're going to see a message, and I'll put in the message because my name on IG is not what it is on YouTube. I have a personal and I have a business one. But I definitely need to put an IG up for blended healing, right? Yeah, probably too. All right. Listen, I promised I wouldn't keep y'all long. But, okay. Miss Sharon, I'll help you. I'll help you. You got an IG, Sharon? Is it your name? Do you have an IG? All right. Hey, Gigi, you hung out with me all night, boo. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to put everybody on front sheet. Gigi checking in is my sister-in-law. And I thank you so much for your support. Thanks, sis. All right. So y'all have a good night. I'm going to run a couple of promo here, and then we're out. And I'll see y'all tomorrow at 7 a.m. Gigi, they saluting you, Gigi. Yeah, Gigi's my sister-in-law. Thank God for the sister-in-law, man. Woo, child. My sister-in-law, my in-laws are fabulous people, man. I love my in-laws. All right, y'all. Have a good night. And remember that tomorrow I need you to be a great day. With that, have a good night. Be well. Stay safe. And I do need to run this for purposes for the video. Okay. I had forgot to put that in there because I did research and information. Good night, everyone. So let me run what I do. All right. Good night, y'all.
From the front to the back and you in the middle, just remember, everybody's watching. Just give them something to see. Let them see it. Are you watching me? Watch this. Or you want to stop me? You can't stop this. That's the mentality that you must have in yourself. Don't you dare give up now. It's okay. Yeah, it hurt a little bit, but I can feel it. I know what that pain feels like. And I know how to keep marching. And I know how to keep moving. And I know how to get productive in my life. Can't stop what you didn't create. You can hate it, but you can't dominate it. Because it belongs to me.
I know is my music will live forever. I be looking in the mirror like none of these niggas better try me. Nah, these niggas, they better never. All that ivy is what they gon' need to get better. Feel me? I'm the wrong one if you try and use me. Communicate, cause I'll get gone if you start confusing me. I know my worth, made it out the mud to the dirt. I was told never give up. You see how that work? Look, shorty's always asking where my passion like. I'm a cameraman, but make music about life. I record myself, then shoot my vids in the real time. Usually solo, cause a lot of niggas turn slime. Other artists don't support unless you dick ride. That's why if you ain't gang, then I don't say hi. I don't drink no more, little mama, but I stay high. And I live alone, you bad, you should come by. Hey, this is personal. You can count on me, I count on you. You ride for me, I'ma ride for you. If they get enemy, they mine too. They violate, I'm violating too. And they can take it personal. This is personal. You can count on me, I count on you.